How long has it been since the last episode of PC Wars? I know it's been such a long time. A lot of you guys probably even forgot about it, but it's still here, it still exists. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Welcome to PC Wars episode 25, where you submit your custom PC to get featured on the channel. If you guys want to participate, make sure to watch the video linked below. With that said, let the PC Wars begin. First up, we got Cory and Severed Blue, which is a black and blue water-cooled PC running on two separate loops. It's equipped with a 6600K and an MSI GTX 1080. I'm not really sure why Cory went with two separate loops for a single GPU, but hey, it's his build, not mine. Besides the obvious custom painted and modded case, he also did some vinyl work, acrylic panels, power supply cover, and even added a platform for the reservoirs. There are no benchmarks for Severed Blue, unfortunately, but this is a sick black and blue setup. Thank you, Cory, for starting off this episode. Next up is Bruce Wayne with a goddamn sick looking white and red PC. I mean, the color scheme on this one is just beautiful. And look how cool the fans look. I was actually curious what model these were, so I did some research, and apparently they are RGB LED fans from Ayego, I think that's how you say it, and they only sell them in Malaysia. Unfortunately, they're not available in the US. So Bruce is calling this Frost Edge, and it's rocking the 7700K, 16 gigs of RAM, and two GTX 1080s. Founders Editions actually in SLI, and this is all built inside the Hex Gear R40 chassis, which again doesn't look like it's available in the US. The fact that you managed to squeeze all this inside a tiny micro ATX case and keep the cables hidden is incredible. And that mod list though, there's just way too many to name, but he's got some custom backplates, painted SLI bridge and power supply, custom motherboard heatsink and IO shroud. Now, I don't know if that's painted or what, but damn does that look amazing. He even has a PSU cable shroud right above the power supply to hide the cables coming out of it. I mean, this guy has thought of everything. I'm personally not a fan of the 90-degree fittings, but this build is just beautiful. For benchmarks, it scored a 25,382, taking the lead for this episode. Thank you, Bruce Wayne, for entering. At number 3 is Gavin and the Barbershop. Now, here's an interesting color scheme that I haven't even seen before. We got black, red, white, and teal. I mean, at least it's unique, right? So the Barbershop is equipped with a 6800K, 32 gigs of RAM, and an EVGA GTX 1080 for the win. Some custom mods include a painted front grille, painted PCI brackets, and custom sleeved cables. For benchmarks, it scored 18,714, taking second place for this episode. I mean, it's not a bad PC, I actually like the unique color scheme. It's definitely a nice change from everything. Thank you, Gavin, for entering. So you thought Bruce's white and red PC was bomb. Well, check out Ivan's. So damn clean. It's like a scene from The Matrix where the entire room is white. So badass. It doesn't have a name, but what it does have is a 6700K that's overclocked to 4.2. We got 16 gigs of RAM and an MSI GTX 1060. There's also a lot of mods, mostly paint jobs like the RAM sticks, fans, and even the case got a nice paint job. Then we got the acrylic PSU cover and the panel for mounting the case fans, pump, and even the reservoir. Nicely done. I just love how parallel the build is. I'm pretty sure you did the tubing that way on purpose to achieve a clean look. You definitely got that right. For benchmarks, it scored 11,179, taking third place. Thank you, Ivan, for entering. Last but certainly not least is Shawn and his insane custom looped PC. Not because it has a 6800K and two GTX 1070s, but because of those bends. There's a lot going on here, and even though I'm personally not a fan of how it looks, I gotta give props to Shawn for pulling this off. If you're gonna do crazy bends in your PC, this is how it's done. Take notes, G-Man. There's also a lot of different LEDs inside here, and I feel like that's what Shawn was going for. A crazy, messy, and intense look, and he certainly achieved it. For benchmarks, it scored 8,176 in Firestrike Ultra instead of the regular benchmark which he was supposed to use, but it doesn't really matter because none of the PCs in this episode can beat Bruce's dual 1080 build in terms of benchmark scores. A very sick build nonetheless. Thank you, Shawn, for entering. So that is it for this episode of PC Wars. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys vote down below on who you think has the best custom PC. I'll announce the winners on my Twitter and InstaFail. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.